Hey there, everyone. This is Sarah.
And this is Andy.
And this is Angie.
And we're Mouse out of the House.
Today, we're going to be taking you with us on an amazing cruise to the beautiful Alaska, where we're going to enjoy the natural beauty of wild places, some wild things, the awe-inspiring shows, the onboard sights, and so much more, guys. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and buckle up for today's awesome adventure.
Well, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. We are super excited to have you join us on our trip to Alaska via the Silversea Nova. This is actually our first time on a Silversea cruise, which is now owned by Royal Caribbean, by the way, but we do have extensive experience with the Disney cruise liners and a little bit of experience with some others. We've actually been on every Disney ship minus the Wish, but that one is scheduled, and we absolutely love those cruises and are super excited to get to try these out.
Day one of the trip started out great. With plenty of sunshine and good friends, really who could ask for more? We are here today in the beautiful city of Vancouver, British Columbia. This is our second time visiting this lovely city. We took a previous cruise with Norwegian Cruise Lines that ended here several years ago. And we have nothing but good things to say about Vancouver. Our first moments in the city were a flurry of noises, smells, and sounds. So today is boarding day. But we're here a little early before the cruise takes off, so we decided to spend our time taking in the city and the sights. Neither disappointed. This area has a jaw-dropping view just about everywhere you turn. We especially enjoyed all of the bay views of the cityscape that we could have made a dozen postcards out of. Walking around with the sea breeze in your hair and the taste of salt in the air was really the kickstart we needed before walking across the gangplank and onto the ship. It just really helped to put the trip ahead of us into perspective and to get our heads in a good place to enjoy the upcoming festivities. Walking onto the ship and getting to our room was a pleasant and easy experience. We found champagne waiting for us in our room upon our arrival. A lovely touch to a lovely room. We greatly enjoyed it as we got ready to sail away.
Let's start off by taking a look around our room. These are really large rooms with much more space than your average cruise, with living, bathroom, and storage space being so much more spacious than what we have ever experienced on any other cruise line. Nice furnishings and finish can be found everywhere you look. The thermostat in here is even a little extra, with a touch screen with multiple modes and settings, but you could also control the entire room from this pad. Now let's make our way to the closet. Yep, you heard me right, this room even has a functional walk-in closet. Because I don't know about you, but I always need a little extra space for clothes, shoes, and everything else. And on a trip this amazing, you want to have that outfit that makes you feel just right. This closet did not disappoint. Solid aesthetics and functional space are always a plus for us. Now on to the patio. We're still at dock, so the view is not extraordinary, but you can tell when things get kicked off, this is going to be a really nice place to have a cold one. We ended up spending more time out here than I care to admit. The patio has to be one of our favorite little extras.
Back inside the room, we can see it comes with a well-sized TV, a touchscreen command center, a phone, and of course your own personal mini fridge, which was kept stocked with our choice of drinks, beer, and wine. On any other cruise, that would definitely be paid extras. We found the rooms to have more than ample storage with the closet and many sets of drawers and cubbies to keep our things organized and at the ready for whatever you have planned aboard. The bathroom this room came with was more than luxurious. This may have been our second favorite part of the room. We will say these cruises are about 3 times the cost of the standard Disney cruise, but keep in mind when comparing, this is a door-to-door experience. That meaning it includes being picked up from your home, your flights, all transfers, pre-cruise hotel, your alcohol on board, your excursions, and the train ride from Seward to Anchorage, and your return back home. But what you get for the price is really impressive given the other experiences we have had.
While other cruise lines we've been on are generally focused on constant activities, Silversea's really takes it a little slower, with rooms like this stunning library for you and your party to explore and examine. We really love the decor in here, and they actually had a reasonable selection of books. But what if I brought my own, you may ask? Well, that would make the both of us. I don't know about you, but I always fly with more books than I need. This trip alone, I think there are 3 different books on a random variety of topics just thrown around the room. But with a library like this, I may just be able to catch up on my reading this trip. And that starry ceiling really ties it all together.
The interior lounges and seating areas around the ship are just as nice as the other amenities and decorations. This is one thing that was consistent throughout the entire ship: quality aesthetics and materials. Everything you see and touch on this ship just had a nice, clean feel to it. Nothing ends up feeling cheaply made or designed in a rush. You can tell that a number of skilled individuals put all this together with a greater motif in mind. They were able to accomplish this with a range of different decor styles, which is nice to see that everything goes together, but is far from the same or repetitive. With this style of cruise being less about the shows and activities, you want to have nice bars and lounges to spend your time at sea enjoying oneself and the company of good friends, like Jack, Jim, and Johnny.
This ship also came with a reasonably sized casino. This is not really the location our group would really spend a lot of time at, so I can't say if this is a world-class gambling facility or not, but it was nice to walk through before things got a little too smoky for us. The dining rooms were well decorated and lit. We spent our dining time enjoying food and drink and the company of our friends, so this may be all that you get to see of this area with us. Art and decor around the ship were tasteful and well balanced. I can't really remember any areas with art that stuck out sorely. The top deck presents us with a stunning view of the water and the surrounding area as we take a walk around and soak up the sun, the salty air, and to try to find a place to enjoy our time leading up to the sail away.
A toast to you, a toast to us, and a safe trip to Alaska, and to making good memories with good friends. Sailing away is always one of our favorite parts of these trips. Getting to see the city and the docks you were just in gradually fade to nothing, and the little dots in the distance slowly becoming the mountains you will soon be passing by. On this trip, we had the pleasure of seeing this awesome little seaplane fly over the boat as we left the bay. Another cool note, because the ports are so diverse from one location to another, they have to have a local ship captain come on board to pilot the ship into dock. And then upon departing, the pilot has to take the ship back out to a certain point. At that time, they are picked up by a much smaller boat to go back to land. And that's what you're seeing here.
The view, once we get out to sea, is jaw-dropping. No matter how many coasts you get the privilege of seeing, each one just has its own unique beauty, and you really never know what you might see swimming out to the depths with you. Day 2 started off with the most beautiful sunrise. Getting to sit on your patio and watch the sun come up over the ocean while enjoying a nice hot cup of coffee may be one of the greatest luxuries of all. Or at least it felt like it this morning. The first snow-covered mountains had all of us glued to the windows. Growing up in Texas, the views and landscapes are just so different, but so fascinating, and it's so nice to see this difference in view. It was like once these mountains came into view, no one could take their eyes off of them.
Day 2 starts with us sailing along the Inside Passage. Today was slower than other cruises we have been on, with the majority of the time being spent in leisure, not rushing around, trying to hit the times on our schedule. This was both different and nice, since on other ships you can fill your schedule to the brim with desirable activities and end up feeling tired a lot of the time. But here, the emphasis is on relaxation and rest, especially since we had gone through 4 time zones at this point. There is entertainment such as the nightly shows at 10 p.m., but much of the day takes place around the bars and the lounges, where there is live music that starts early every evening.
Day 3 starts off as we pass more stunning natural beauty with the snow-capped mountains ever present in the distance. We slowly made our way to touch Alaskan soil for the first time as we began our adventure into the largest state in the United States. Breakfast and coffee on the patio as usual while we slowly sail into the bay is a lovely way to start the day. Just taking in all this natural beauty, I wish we could start every day like this. Docking happened smoothly, and before we knew it, we had streets appearing beside the ship, with signs of civilization becoming more and more present. The houses along the bay as we came into dock are just so cute, but I wonder how much upkeeping a house on the water like that would cost. Probably worth it for your view like this every morning.
We made it into dock at Juneau, and today we have plans with our group. We're going to do a little bit of exploring and a little bit of sightseeing. We have plans to visit a museum to learn about Alaska, its wild places, things, and resources. But first, let's take a quick look at this quaint little town as we make our way over to the museum. The mountains in the backdrop are just so picturesque. A cool fact we learned today from the locals: there's as many eagles in this town as there are people. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our adventures. Our kayaking adventure started out with a 30-minute bus ride and a walk to the dock where we boarded a Zodiac boat, which shuttled us across to a small island off the coast of Ketchikan. It was a little bit windy and cold, but what can you expect in Alaska? Surprisingly, the ride was smoother than expected, and our group really enjoyed the journey over to the kayaks. We had plenty of time to enjoy scenery, soak up the salty air, and just let go of all our cares. We even got a little lucky on the way to the island and happened to be in the right place at the right time as we got to see a few of the local aquatic predators, the lovely orcas. We were told that they don't get to see these guys every day, so we felt very blessed to be able to see them at what to us is a close distance. We just wish we had bigger lenses for our cameras. There seemed to be 3 or 4 orcas in this pod, and it was really cool to get to see them interact with one another. The beach we landed on and took off from with the kayaks was super picturesque. The stone pebbles moving underneath your feet, the sound of the wind blowing through the trees. This was just the start to an amazing adventure and an even better day. Once out on the water, we took our time and just tried to soak in all that Mother Nature had to offer.
Before long, we came upon these really big starfish. Can you see those things? They are huge. I never knew starfish could be this big. What a mind-opening experience. And like they had themselves like wedged up in the rock walls, like partially emerged from the water. I've never seen starfish do this. What an amazing experience kayaking was. But after all of that, I think we may need a hot cup of coffee and maybe a nap. The journey back to the ship felt way longer than the trip to the island. We all just could not wait to get back on that lovely ship and take a load off. Maybe get up on top deck and have a cold one. And sadly, the ride back was free of orcas. It would have been really cool to have got to see them twice in one day.
The trip from Ketchikan to Juneau was mostly uneventful, with time being spent on deck and then later at dinner. We're sorry again for not sharing this part of our trip, but we all need time to just concentrate on what's in front of us, like good friends, good food, and good conversations. But just so you know, all of the food we had on board was at or above the quality we expected for the price, with everything being included in your ticket price, including after-dinner drinks and desserts, of course. The view as we sailed away to the next stop in our adventure, as so many others have been, was astonishing.
Our voyage to Juneau, Alaska was smooth and steady, as we relaxed the night away with friends and entertainment. As we made our way to the Alaska State Museum, we were all super excited to get a chance to learn and see some of the history of the state and its native peoples. From the intricate decorations on the boats, to the beadworks, the clothing, we were all just absolutely captivated by the artistry that we saw on display. We also got a chance to see some of Alaska's wildest inhabitants up close and in the safest way possible. Dioramas. Super large dioramas at that. This one was an entire eagle's nest atop a 2-scale tree model. Did we mention how many eagles are in this place? Literally more eagles than people. We came from the southern United States and grew up around bald eagles, but the eagles here appear to be a little bit larger. Seriously, guys, these are some big birds.
Some native people made use of walrus, fossilized mammoth, and sometimes even narwhal ivory as part of their culture and religious practices. Some tribes are even given traditional hunting permits, too, via the federal government to allow them to keep their cultural heritage and history alive in the modern day. Getting the chance to see so many different examples of Native people's cultures, lifestyle, artistry, and more had us excited for the next chapter in our journey. The next leg of our adventure involved getting a little closer to the wildlife. We booked a whale watching tour, and let me tell you, we were not disappointed. We got to see 4 different types of whales, including these amazing orcas. The guides told us they don't see this every time they go out, so we felt really lucky to get to spend as much time as we did watching them in their natural environment. Getting the privilege of seeing a pod of orcas interacting with one another really instilled how important it is to preserve our natural wonders, and how the efforts being put in by the local people and scientists to help these amazing animals cannot be undervalued. If you get the chance and can, please help support the conservation of these amazing animals.
As we made our way back to the ship, we all discussed how amazing it was to get the experience of these whales in the wild. Back aboard, we found cold drinks in our fridge and the smell of dinner wafting through the ship. We all went to our respective rooms and got ready for the evening festivities. After we met top deck to see the ship off and get one last look at Juneau, Alaska. Hello everyone, Andy here. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue our 7-day Alaskan cruise. If you have not already, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. It really helps the channel out. Today, we start off as we click-clack down the rails of the White Pass Scenic Railway as we take a lovely slow ride through the Alaskan wilderness. From the moment we stepped aboard, we all knew this was going to be a special afternoon. This trip took us up the White Pass Railway, which in the old days was made to be a Klondike Gold Rush staging area. With construction of the railway completed in 1890, this gave way to supply chains being formed in areas they previously had not. The railway climbs up almost 3,000 feet in around 20 miles. It gave way for industries to be able to export ore from the area. Life in this area was harsh prior to the railway, but when word of a spent bullet casing full of gold flakes was found in Klondike, that was enough to spur the people who currently were facing a depression into action. Hundreds into the thousands of men, women, and children raced their way to Klondike through extremely difficult terrain to get to the gold fields. 550 miles prospectors would go through with roughly a ton of supplies, each trying to mark out their claim that they hoped would make them rich. After the gold rush, the railway assisted with supply movement during World War II before changing from steam to then diesel-electric power in 1954, at which time they became a full transportation company. After a crash of the metal markets in '82, there was a few years of inactivity until 1988 when the railway became a full-fledged tourist attraction. History lessons aside, this was such an amazing journey. Everyone in our group was just completely glued to the window. We were just eager to see the next breathtaking piece of natural beauty that was going to come by. And we happened to get to see bears on this ride, which is like super cool, and you don't get to do that every time, but I'm sorry, sadly, we were unable to get any of them on film. They were at a distance that just our cameras just weren't capable. We're really sorry. We highly recommend this trip to anyone coming this way. The railway was relatively smooth and very relaxing. We all also had comfortable seating with ample room and felt that we got a solid value for our money with this trip. We even got the opportunity to see some really cool old-timey bridges and tunnels that at the time they were built were marvels of modern engineering. The wildlife and wild spaces that fluttered by like a moving picture show painted itself vividly into our core memories. The only thing that could have made this better was getting to share it with the whole family. Once we got back on board, we met up with friends for food, drinks, and the evening festivities. This day has got to be one of our favorites on the trip, but every day on board so far has been a wonderful adventure that we will cherish for a lifetime.
The next day of our journey took place in Sitka, Alaska, where we went on a sea otter and wildlife quest tour. This tour was just amazing. It felt like from the moment that we stepped on board, there was wildlife just everywhere. We started off with sea lions on the buoys, watching as we cruised slowly past them. We have, of course, seen sea lions before, but it never grows old seeing them in a wild environment going about their day-to-day seal lives. We learned a little bit about the Steller sea lion, a native resident, who was at one time hunted almost to extinction for their fur, meat, hide, and other products. But due to the ongoing efforts of wildlife biologists, citizen scientists, and viewers just like you, these animals can still be found in their native habitat. If we've not already said, please support conservation efforts that help preserve wild places and things. You never know when you could make a real change in the world around you. Next, we cruise up on some sea otters. We really had a golden opportunity to see these amazing animals being out and about and doing their thing. Most of this trip was spent sitting back with our mouths open wide as the sea otters put on a show for us. But for real, guys, we could not get enough of these aquatic creatures. They are just so cute. We got enough pictures and videos to last a lifetime, so I don't think we or anyone within earshot of us at a dinner party is ever going to miss out on seeing or hearing about these guys. The boat ride was a little choppy, but what can you expect from Alaskan waters? The boat and crew, though, were more than fitting and friendly. We found everyone to be super helpful and informative, so if you have any questions you would like to ask when you go, do not hold back. Overall, we had such a good time and can't wait to go back on our next trip. After all that, we made our way back towards the boat so that we could get a little R&R before dinner. Today was a really tiring one, but so rewarding. If you're on the fence about a Silversea's cruise, don't hold back. It has been an amazing ride.
Silversea singers and dancers in Motown. And of course, we've got your band. Not forgetting your station production team. And ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the cast. We've got Lilo. We've got Jess. Alex. Simone. Sylvia. Anton. Dance Captain Ksenia. Luliano. And together they are the Silversea Singers and Dancers.
Hello there, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. If you've not already, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Today we continue on our journey through the picturesque Alaska. The dinner show was amazing, and the food and drinks were great, as has been the standard throughout our trip. I recommend everyone watching to grab a coat because it's going to get cold today. The first glacier ice started appearing in the water as we approached Glacier Bay on a cold day. This destination is really special, and getting the chance to log this into our core memories was an amazing blessing. Even though it was really cold, all of us were willing to get stuck to the guardrail as long as we did not miss a single moment of this view. It's really humbling to get to see such a beautiful piece of our planet. So you can enjoy the view as well. We're going to play some nice music so we can all just enjoy the view. We'll be back with you after this brief commentary intermission. After the truly beautiful Glacier Bay, we broke back towards the sun and steered towards Seward on our last day at sea. This trip has been amazing with so many new memories made with our friends. But don't worry, we still have a lovely train ride from Seward to Anchorage, Alaska tomorrow. The train ride was pleasant, with snow-capped mountains littering our view as we cut through the wilderness. We enjoyed the company of our friends and beautiful views as we reminisce on the once-in-a-lifetime trip we were wrapping up. While many trips we have taken in the past with the sad feeling of incompleteness, a want for it to continue on, this one did not, and that's not a bad thing. This trip was truly an adventure, and we left that adventure as one should, dreaming for their own bed. This trip was truly complete in the sense that each of us left without any feelings of unfulfillment. So, if you asked would we recommend a cruise on Silverseas, we would say a resounding yes.